Hi, it's Janie with the League-Kempner House in Galveston. Before we get into today's video, I just want to preface it with a little bit of information. You saw in previous videos that we came through Hurricane Beryl with very minimal damage. The new roof held. We were almost dry in the house with the exception of a couple of issues we know about, and the basement was bone dry. Fast forward to today's video. The day before going down to work, Galveston received 4 inches of rain in a 2-hour period. That's a lot. There was wide-scale flooding. It was a mess, and all I could do was watch it on the news. So as I headed down there, I was not expecting to find good things at the house. Okay, this is not good. We have sprung a new leak on our flat roof up there. And if you go way, way back to the beginning, we did a quick and dirty temporary roof up there, but the seams don't always hold. So that's probably something we can go temporarily fix. But it's got quite the drip. And same thing over here, we're wet. Coming from that same area.
Yeah, I think it's coming from the same
And
spot.
this is wet in here, and that's coming from around the fireplace that they've yet to flash. So we know about those, so not the end of the world. And this is very wet standing water down here. So this is wet. This is very wet. That is that seam where they butted the two buildings together and they didn't put any flashing or caulking.
Yeah,
And again, you can see daylight if we, oh, there it is. See daylight peeking through. So we know about that. We're going to work on that when the lift is back and they're doing the guttering work. Okay, now I might have to say a really bad word because we had such heavy rain. Everything is floating down here, and our shutters, unfortunately, have now been sitting and soaking in water, and that's what we were going to try to prime today, and we can't because they're wet. So first things first, I'm going to drag those out, try to get them dry.
Earlier there was so much traffic. I was expecting rain, but not cars.
Look how high the water is.
It is.
It is up
level
to,
with the floor.
it is level with the water over here. It is over there. So it's been raining a lot.
Good times.
Good times. There's some big leaks upstairs too. But nothing we didn't know about. So that's good. Nothing new. But yeah, what a cluster. You know what? Oh my gosh. I don't know why I'm laughing. This is really...
Oh, look, our wood is getting wet.
Oh, look, everything's getting soaked and it'll be moldy and gross. And I'll have to come down here and stand all this up and spend all day doing something that I didn't want to do. But, yeah, so, yay. Yay. Hi, it's Janie from the League-Kempner House indoor swimming pool. Joe and I are down for tours today. We're not expecting any because the weather is horrible, but we came to do some work and I went to check on the basement, and this is what we found. And we know what the problem is. We talked about it, I think, in the last video or the one before that, but it's not fixed yet, and so we still have that water when it comes down so fast, backing up and getting in here. The water table is really high. This is our cistern filter, we think, and I've shown you before the water's been way down near the bottom, but look, it's up to the top of that dark line, and that's as high as it can go because that is the level of the ground, and that's actually the level of the water that we're standing in right here. So that's why we need to put a sump pump in here, suck this water out, and move it away from underneath the house faster. But first we've got to fix our guttering problems. I'm not discouraged because that's not my personality, but I am frustrated a little bit because I have some things I really need to do to prepare for the next hurricane, and that's to work on these shutters. And my lovely tenant Victoria is here from the Lucas Apartments helping us today, and she refinishes furniture as a hobby, so she's taken on the task of working on these shutters. But these were laying over here and they got wet on the bottom, so now we can't prime them. She can go ahead and maybe prime the louvers, which is the hard part, and I do have two over in the chauffeur's quarters that are dry, but I'm gonna have to carry these up the stairs. It's not fun to get them up there, get a fan on them, get them drying, and then I'm gonna have to come back down here and pick up all of our lumber and find a dry place to stack it and get it out of this water, because the weather pattern we're having, it could be days or if not another week or two of this. So I need to get this up off the ground and get it someplace safe. The old pine from the ceiling is in water. It's so hard, it's probably not going to make a difference. So I'll just leave that. It's a mess, and we've got two big leaks upstairs. Fortunately, it's things we know about. It's not related to our new roof. We'll address those at some point. I'm just tired of talking about water, so I'm not going to do it today. But anyway, we're going to put the camera down and we're going to get started. I'm going to try to get these things upstairs, and I think it's facing in the wrong direction, but I don't remember how I did it. I think I stood it up and carried it upright and turned the corner and then went down. So I'm going to give it a shot.
Can we go on record? Can you tell them why I'm not helping you carry this?
Because I won't let you. Oh, because it's a one-woman job. And I can't go outside because it's too muddy. And my shoes would get muddy, even though they're already completely saturated. Oops. Okay. Now, I think then there's a process. This is not what I did the other day. The other day I did it easier than this. But I don't remember exactly what I did. But okay. They're very wet. Okay, now you can help me. You can come open the door. It's a little humid. I'm a little winded, and it's still COVID kind of did me in. I thought I was making a lovely face. That is definitely not what. That is definitely not how I did it the other day. I did it much easier. I have to rethink that. Okay. Okay, I think I will rest now. Okay, it's a little noisy out here. The cars are going by, and when the road is, I don't know why I'm yelling. I have a microphone on. I know, I can't hear me. It's a little noisy out here because the cars are going by, and when the road is wet, the road noise for some reason is really high. But I have to get these doors closed. Well, we could close them, and we've got the system rigged up to keep them closed, you saw, but it's not a good permanent solution. So I've been thinking of ways to do this, and for some reason my brain was not functioning. And one of our viewers, Catherine, came up with this idea, and I'm like, she's brilliant. I've actually done it before to board up windows. I don't know why my brain could not process how to do it on these doors, but it's a pretty simple method. I went and got these carriage bolts. So thank you, Catherine, for having a brain. We're going to put them through the hole, but we're going to sandwich a 2x6 on either side and then put a wing nut on and clamp them basically tight together. That way, and I got a wing nut instead of a regular bolt, so we can just take this on and off by hand. And I'm using a carriage bolt because it's smooth and nobody can get a wrench on it and open it from the outside, because you saw these on the sistering of the joist. Will knock this into the wood and it will basically grip and hold tight into the wood. Then to close it, we'll just slide it in, screw the wing nuts from the back, and off we go. So it's a pretty simple process. I just have to, it's so simple. What could go wrong, right? I just have to drill a couple of holes in this board. We've marked the centers of the holes in the door, and I'm actually over a void here. Yep. So I'm just going to drill if I can get it started. That's pretty easy. This one over. And there you have it. Now I have to make a matching board to go on the inside. But you can see this will fit in pretty tight. Actually, that washer's on the wrong side. I don't want that there because I need this to be able to hammer into the wood and snug up. That goes on the wing nut side. I'm going to get my hammer and knock those in real good. I don't know what happened to my real hammer. I have my little sissy glazing hammer. Alfred brought me a bunch of hammers, but they're probably all down in the basement.
You're not over a hole.
Oh, okay.
I consider not telling you that for a while.
Well, all right. There. So those are tight. I'll whack them a little harder with a bigger hammer. And then hopefully if we measured right and did it right, it'll be easier when somebody's on the inside holding the doors. But you get the idea. So that'll snug up tight to the door when we put another one on the back side and sandwich it together. So now I need to drill the one to go on the back side. Here's our one that's going to go on the inside. So it's 5 feet. So there's our center. I'm going to make this hole actually a little bigger to give it a little play to slip over that, because if it's not exact, they won't match. Joe's going to go inside with this board. And she's going to hold the door closed, and I'm going to slip that through. And then I'll run around the outside. We have to make sure that one person can do it from the inside. There. And then we'll just take our wing nut. And tighten that. Now, let's put the other one on there and talk about physics and load. Be a little bit nerdy. And when we do this for real, we'll probably get some channel locks and tighten this pretty darn tight, and I'll show you why. So this house was broken into once before. And I might have to get a little spacer and put in here. Come here and look. So look here, there's a piece of trim here that's keeping this from seating up tight against the door like this one does. And we want it tight because if someone can't talk. We want it tight because if someone were to kick on this door from the outside, we want all that force to be on the 2x4s and not on the door itself. So it's important that this be snugged up and really tight and this thing sandwiched in between so that that force is distributed across the door. So I need to measure this, go find probably a board that's 3/8 and cut and screw to here so that it fits super tight. But look, it's pretty secure, but it can do better because we need to get this tighter. But this will be easy on and off. We can just come in the morning, unscrew it, take it down, and then put it back up when we're through without having to put that board back on the floor and drill into our hardwoods and get up on a ladder and secure the top. Let me take it off and show you another reason why this is better than one of the alternatives that we briefly considered and rejected. So one of the things we thought of quickly when this was going on was running a chain through these holes and just tightening the chain. The problem with that is the door is very weak right here because it's been drilled through, it's been hollowed out to hold that lock mechanism, and someone could easily kick that chain and shatter this door here. So this is not strong enough to hold it closed. That's why we need to distribute that force across the doors and in between the two wooden members. So I'm going to go look for something to build this up and get it tighter. I found a thinner board. I drilled a hole in it. I'm going to line it up with the hole that I have there. Oh, look at that. It's just almost perfect. But hold on, I have an idea. This was my too short carriage bolt. I'm going to stick it in the hole so that my holes stay lined up. What I'm going to do is just put a couple of screws in that. To hold that in place. Now let's reassemble our door and see if it works. Recreation, but Joe's making me do it to show that I did just something really dumb. No, we don't edit it out. We show our mistakes. So I brought it in and said, here, let's put it up. And she's like, I put it over the wrong hole. I was supposed to put it down here. And then it'll be too long, so I'll have to cut it off. So I was bragging about it being the right length, and it's not, and it's in the wrong place. So hold on. Okay, let's try again. That hole goes here. Okay, now I've got to cut that off. I'm gonna go get a saw.
Well,
Yes, I do.
what? Because it's gonna be on this side, and it'll just come out.
And it'll hit this.
Will it hit that? Oh,
Yes.
the trim sticks out.
The trim stick. Show it.
Oh,
It'll
trim
stick
sticks
out and
out.
hit the trim, so I have to cut it off. I know what I'm doing. Eventually. For those keeping count of everything I've done wrong, no, this is not the appropriate saw, but it's the one I could get to without wading through ankle deep water in the basement, and I just put on my last dry tennis shoes. So we're just gonna make it work. This is my first time with COVID, and I have to say, COVID brain fog is real. Putting this video together is painful watching how I did this. There are so many ways this could have been done better. Okay. Okay, let's try again. You go inside with this, and it goes on that way. Put your foot against that and hold that tight. Okay, forgot to push record. Okay, so we're flush here, we're flush over here. That allows that force to transfer and get distributed across the door instead of being just on one place. So, oh, well, pushing out won't help. Push in real hard, see what happens. Joe, push it in real hard. Joe, push in real hard on the door. Push the door.
I can't hear you.
Push the door. She's deaf. Okay. All right. That's good. That'll work. So thank you very much, Catherine. This is our angel today, Victoria, who's young and very strong. And we lost count, but this is probably bucket 60, 70 at least. We've been going nonstop for hours. And I had to stop and go dig out my trench to get this to drain because we are vacuuming. I've lost my mind. We are vacuuming from the closest spot to where we can dump it out. So my job has been broom woman, getting the broom and pushing all the water that is everywhere and so deep and pushing it over to her so she can just stay in one place. But I'm gonna go take a quick rest upstairs. I can't convince her to do it, so. But I'm old, so I'm gonna go sit. I can't thank Victoria enough for pitching in. I did not have the physical strength or the mental capacity to deal with this water today. And there's Miss Kelly doing the detail work. I think you missed a spot.
I did.
If my husband were here, he'd say, no look.
Oh, okay. We're gonna turn them to. Oh,
No.
look.
They don't have to be perfect.
But we're gonna do it one place.
Yeah, actually, doing the finger, if you rub it smooth,
Yeah, that putty was
when we
one
do
of my
our
jobs when I was a
second
kid.
sand, there won't be that much to sand. Oops,
Yeah.
I'm not even filming what I'm doing.
I'll take this one.
We already put epoxy in the holes, so they're waterproof. So water can't seep in and rot the wood, but filling them will help too. Victoria found a second larger shop vac, so she's got a method, and I didn't even know she had it down here, so she's going to demonstrate her method.
Well, what I do is, like, this one, I just empty that one. I run this one till it's full, and it's big and heavy and holds a lot of water, so it takes me a little while to get it emptied, so I run that one while this one is being emptied.
So okay.
Brilliant.
Poor Victoria was down here working like a dog, and she had come up with this ingenious way to prop up the hose of the shop vac and let it fill while she was emptying the second one. And it was working pretty well, but she was working so hard, and it just goes to show you can always learn something new. Kelly came down and pointed out a feature on the shop vac that neither Victoria or I knew about, and it would have been nice to know at the beginning. That's
Several
the
times. I don't have much water on
that's the
the
sound of being full. So she's look, it's almost dry.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done 5 of those and 6 of these. just
Over
in this
in this area.
Yeah, just in this area.
Then you gotta go around over here
Okay, go out now.
and go that way and climb through the thing and go that way. Because the door's locked. Yeah. So you gotta go that way.
Prop up the hose a little
Oh, you wanna
bit,
wash
so
your
it kinda
hands.
points downward.
There's a shop vac full of water right there.
Hey, that's you know you can hook a water hose to that, or
This one?
some of them you can.
This one has
It
a,
doesn't have a discharge.
this one does. This one does.
It does have a discharge? Where?
It's on that side. We did not know this. We just found this thing.
Okay, well, all right, good to know because I have many hoses.
Well, not to mention.
So basically, you can use it like a sump pump. You can put a hose
Yes.
on there and suck and discharge at the same time. Well, I hope we get our gutter in and get our drain situation straightened out and we don't do this anymore.
I just have the one extension cord, so that I've got hooked up right now. So, and I've got it hooked to this chair so that it's not stuck in the ground.
We don't want to electrocute ourselves. All right, so she's keeping the connection dry. And you said you had a low space that,
Yes. Yeah, there's a low space over there. I'll just have to pull my cord out a little more. We're not all about to get electrocuted. Now, I didn't have to move that much because all that is cord is shorter, so. I might just stay.
okay.
Kind of use a little whatever I can find. My foot's in the way. There.
So poor Victoria, had we known about that hose discharge at the beginning of the day, she could have saved herself about 7 hours of brutal work down here in the basement. So I think today's video theme is how to work as inefficiently as possible. Between having the shop vac in the basement and my struggles with doing that door project, things could have gone so much better. But hindsight is 2020. We all learn new things, and going forward, now that we know about that hose connection on the shop vac and how easy it would be to get water out of here in the future, I think we've just about guaranteed that we'll get our gutter in soon, and this will never happen again. Because this is the way things go. Usually once you figure out how to do something right, you don't ever need it again. But fingers crossed, that's what will happen here. I think my question as to whether the queen palm is dying has been answered. It had that one little green spot. I thought it might come back, but it has laid itself on the ground. Pure evil. We still have cat's claw. Okay, this has had time to dry overnight. So the thought was that the primer would seal these little fuzzy pieces, and when it was dry and hard, we'd be able to sand that. And get a smooth finish. So that does seem to be working. So we'll sit here and do this, fill nail holes, and get it flipped over. We didn't prime that edge because that's the edge that was sitting in water, and it's still very wet. So that's going to have to dry a while. But we can at least flip over, prime the other side, and then get another one up here. Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Walter stopped by. He's got a surprise for us. He's got a bigger sign. Ta-da! Between Beryl, COVID, and this crazy rain pattern, we are struggling. There is so much to do. We have events coming up, and we are getting behind because we are fixing new problems caused by the hurricane. We've got to get that basement water issue solved by getting our gutters up, and we can't get our gutters up until it stops raining. So we are in a bit of a do loop, and this rain pattern continues on into the month of September. And on September 2nd, Galveston received for that day an all-time new record high of 5.6 inches of rain. So we are waterlogged and we are tired of it, but the sun will be out soon and we will continue on. So join us back next week here at the League-Kempner House in Galveston and see what we're up to.